Hey everyone, I'm Clue, and welcome to Insane But Technically Possible. So Boltyn and the new chess piece Solar Plexus. What does the ultimate combo potential look like? Well, let's find out. So basically, this is just going to be a casual thing here and there, right? If I think up something wacky and crazy, where we'll grab a hero from Fab and we'll just show off a really disgusting combo that is theoretically possible, but absolutely insane to actually pull off. Now, if you've ever wondered how I set up and test these types of things, the easiest thing to do is to activate manual mode in Fabry, right? And then draw through the entire deck, and then use something like Spark of Genius, since it has that X cost, to basically pitch your entire deck, and then order it however you want, right? So this deck has been completely structured and ordered to absolutely show off the maximum potential of this combo. So 2 turns is what it requires when we get into it. So starting off, we have cash outs, and we're going to hit the crown, we're going to hit Valiant Dynamo. This covers the cost for 2 cash ins, right? So gold from the crown covers 1, and then 2 silver covers the other. Now, we do have Gallantry Gold, but I cannot work Gallantry Gold into the combo. We just don't have the spare resource. There's a few ways to technically make it possible, but it's really not needed. And then other than that, we have Soul Food to just basically charge up our soul, since Solar Plexus does require you to banish a card from your soul in order to use its effect. So we can Soul Food, and then that will also put Spirit of Irina into play, which of course is fantastic because it makes Luminar's Ascension instant. We also have Prayer of Balana in our arsenal, but that will come in our actual combo turn. So we'll end off, play Soul Food, we get Spirit of Irina onto the board, and we get some cards into our soul. We can pass, we can take a little bit of damage, it's fine, it's a bot anyway. And then we can start unleashing the combo and the disgusting amount of draw that is now available to Boltyn thanks to the chess piece. So the chess piece discounts all yellow cards, and in Fab, the majority of draw, in fact, most or all generic draw is in yellow, right? Tome of Ferendale is free. Art of War is free. Tome of Divinity is -1, and that's already substantial enough. But starting off, Solar Plexus, right? We bash Soul Food, and these are all now heavily discounted. We can then also use the Prayer of Balana. It's 0 cost. It's basically draw as well. Draw and charge. So by charging our soul, we can put the Bannerets of Gallantry, generates a Quicken, very impactful for Redan the Dustblade, but also it then activates Luminar's Ascension, which is, if you've charged its turn, you may attack an additional time with each weapon you control. Can you see where the combo's going? So we can now use Tome for free. It does drain the action point, but don't worry. We'll draw our cards, and then we get to play Luminar's Ascension, because this is now instant, thanks to the Spirit of Irina, meaning we get an action point back, right? So we have a huge draw combo between Tome of Ferendale and Luminar's Ascension for us to really just combo away. So play another one, pass, draw 2 cards, and then we'll use Luminar's Ascension, and one more Tome, but now we're out of action points. And this is where the draw in Boltyn feels really good, right? We're out of action points. But look at this. We can still go a lot deeper because Tome of Divinity is instant. So, draw 2, but if we put a card into our soul this turn, which we've done, thanks to the Prayer of Balana, we now get to draw 3 cards. So, it's -1, thanks to Solar Plexus, meaning it's pitch 1, play 1 to draw 3, or go positive in hand, which is fantastic. So, as you can probably guess, our hand is starting to stack up nicely. There's the other Luminar's Ascension to gain our action point back, but we might as well continue just to draw through, unless the game decides to eat my card, which does happen sometimes. Let's just try it again. There we go. So another draw 3, and you guessed it, another draw 3. And then we get to Luminar's Ascension, which then will allow us to play the cash-ins. Since we now have the action point again, we'll pay the silver, draw some more, and then we'll pay the gold. And you guessed it, draw some more. Now, look at this hand, right? Do you see what is insane about this? Yeah, we've got the Quicken, we've got 3 Luminar's Ascensions already, we've got 4 swings. But it doesn't stop there. Oath of Steel. Who would have thought this card would ever actually find a substantial use? So whenever you attack with a weapon this turn, put a +1 counter on it, right? So every time we swing, we get 1 counter, we get 2 counters, we get 3 counters. We now get an additional extra swing, an extra swing, and an extra swing, right? Again, sadly no resources, but I'm sure a +1 does not really matter. Let's whack away. So 17, a swing. And let's just add a few more swings while we're at it. Yeah. So, once it hits, ta-da! And we basically get all the fuel for our soul we need, right? Because of the Luminar's Ascension. Although, maybe they're at the bottom. But does Soul Flare not trigger off of Luminar's Ascension? Does it only trigger if you put it into your soul yourself? We should have exactly enough cards for this. I'm pretty sure I counted it out. But yeah, it's now only 12 because we did lose the Dusk Path Pilgrimage. That was just a one-off +2. And then if it hits, you gain the extra swings. But now we can just use Boltyn to give it go again. So banish one card from your soul. Pass. Now it's go again. Swing. Next one's going to be hitting for 13. 15. Right. 3 counters per swing. I forgot. Right. Boltyn again. Pass. And then pass. And then swing for 18. Make sure you Boltyn. Pass. Pass. Yeah. 7 more. 21 this time. And it's just going to continue to ramp and ramp and ramp. Right? It's not... Oh. There we go. Don't forget to Boltyn. Boltyn. Pass. Pass. Swing. Boltyn. Pass. Pass. Swing. Boltyn. Pass. Pass. Swing. Boltyn. Pass. Pass. Swing. Alright, there we go. So I ended up with a 36 Duskblade for a ton of damage. I mean, we'll see in a second. Right? And yeah, still 2 cards left in the Soul too, which is quite nice. But let us just concede and look at the stats, why don't we? So, 233 damage. But this is more disgusting to me overall, right? 21 cards played. The amount of draw that Boltyn has. I thought Zen was crazy. This Solar Plexus, right? I know you could already do similar disgusting things with Vestige of Soul, but the fact that this is a -1 is just insane to me. It enables so much sorting to actually make Combo Boltyn a proper thing. Now, this is pushing it to its absolute max, right? In terms of disgustingness, right? 233 damage. Just endless swings of again, Redan. You can, technically, right, split up the Dusk Path Pilgrimage to try and ensure they hit, right? Twinning Blade is a guaranteed. I'm pretty sure Twinning Blade is a guaranteed. I can never remember, right? Twinning Blade is you may attack an additional 9, right? So you swing, you don't have to use Dusk Path Pilgrimage, you can sort of just go through the hand. Or there is another card that probably takes this over the top, and again, you don't need 233 damage, you want consistent, easier to pull off damage. So what does that technically look like? Well, we have this as the backbone of the deck currently. I would, in all honesty, not actually play Soul Food, right? And if you're just playing a normal match, you'll end up with enough cards in your soul, regardless. Oath of Steel is definitely overkill. You don't need it either, but, you know, it's a fun card to work in, and just stacking the counters, again, leads to some insanity. But more importantly, the cards you probably want is going to be Iron Song Determination. And the reason for that is target weapon gains +1 and dominate until the end of turn, right? Meaning that through dominate, most likely, you'll have enough damage on Redan to then make sure that you get those extra swings off of Dusk Path Pilgrimage, which of course is yellow, meaning that it is also free to play, thanks to Solar Plexus. So in terms of draw, again, we have Art of War. You can take all of the bannerets, right? And basically, it just becomes a filter, because you're not really using any of the other effects of Art of War, but by taking you may banish an attack action card from your hand if you do draw 2 cards. What this means is this becomes a cycle 2 cards, right? As long as Solar Plexus is active, this is free, meaning it is just sift through 6 cards of your deck. You can take the extra effects, again, to throw out some other stuff, but again, just being able to sift through 6 cards of your decks is insane. Cash In is another 4, that's 10 cards. The Tome of Divinity is a 9, that's now 19 cards. Tome of Ferendale, another 6, 25 cards. You can sift through almost half of your deck to try and find this. And again, you don't have to go to this extreme, right? Luminar Ascension is already a versatile combo piece for Boltyn to have those big swing turns thanks to Redan, right? As long as you have enough stuff in your soul to use Boltyn's attack reaction, you can do a ton of damage. So this is taking over the top. But Solar Plexus does just enable so many great things thanks to, again, hitting the draw side of things, right? Having, again, Tome of Divinity be a 3-cost card, so most likely positive, even if you don't take blues, if you just take yellows. The first Tome of Divinity is neutral draw, so it still cycles through 3 cards. The next Tome of Divinity, because you would have floated 1 resource from pitching 2 yellows, is now +1, right? So although you might not want to get to, I think it was 13 cards in hand is what we had to play, again, the 3 Oath of Steels, the 3 Twinning Blades, and the 3 Dusk Path Pilgrimage, plus all the draw and the Luminar's Ascension, You might still end up, you know, with a couple of them, and that's fine. You don't need 13 cards to OTK in Boltyn. You definitely don't. This is just, again, pushing it to the absolute max. You have Gallantry Gold, right, for, again, some other added damage. And Valiant Dynamos, you don't have to cash out. You don't really have to run cash out either. You can just take one cash in. I still think Crown, again, it's all about the range, right? The range to draw through your deck. And Boltyn, thanks to Solar Plexus, is now up there with the Mystic Heroes, right? It is an immense amount. I do think it does go better, though, again, in Prism, with Herald of Erudition. Just overall, it will smooth over that turn, and you'll just steamroll your opponent. But nonetheless, right? There we go. Endless swings with Boltyn and Redan for 233 points of damage. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.